Okay, now this so-called Chinese feud with America and tariff. Look here, don't buy into all of this. The world is a stage, and Donald Trump is just playing his part. In my opinion, the powers on both sides in private agree to what Donald Trump is doing. That is just my opinion, right? China is supposed to be world power. So everything that the West used to make itself great and powerful, they've got to hand it over to China, right? One of the thing is manufacturing, and that is why China is manufacturing just about every and anything, because the West had to do it. It had to happen, right? China is going to be world power. And what they did in the West is they create a distraction, and the distraction is immigration. So while the general population in the West is paying attention in certain countries, they're paying attention to immigrants coming into the country, asylum seekers, and we need laws, and too much people coming into the country, and so forth. Your powers are busy handing over everything that makes you rich, everything that makes you great, everything that makes you powerful. Your leaders, they are busy handing it over to China, right? So when we have the situation where they're saying these luxury goods are made in China and then ship on over to various countries for tags or whatever, don't buy too much into it, because this is not new information. Some of us knew what was happening, but you didn't want to listen, you didn't want to pay attention, right? Everything is fake news. No, you have to pay attention and understand what time it is, right? Imagine the things some of you do to acquire these luxury goods. Imagine the things that you do, right? Some of you going into Dubai and you're doing unthinkable things with man and beast and others, right? To get so-called luxury goods. When you go on social media and you see various influencers, big, small, medium, all you see is so-called luxury goods. That's all you see. How much bags, shoes, designer clothing, only for you to get the information now from the horse's mouth. It's all made in China. And you've been paying a arm and a leg for it. Another big con is a perfume. And you see these girlies having bottles upon bottles upon bottles of perfume, and they're showing and they're carrying on. And when you pay attention to this perfume, some of these scent is just a note or two from smelling like each other, right? When you pay attention to the so-called European perfumes, that's a massive con right there. You only need 2 or 3 very good scent, right? And I'm not big on perfumes. I prefer to have my own scent created for me. I'm not big on purchasing these so-called French perfumes to have bottles upon bottles. I'm not into that. All a con, right? And Donald Trump and China and those involved in these so-called tariff wars, they all got to put on a show. And you, the consumer in the middle, get played for a fool. Because some of you even lose your lives over designer goods that were made in a factory in China. The things you do to acquire it. And when you go back into history, you look on what happened between Queen Elizabeth II mother, the Queen Mother, when her husband, brother, abdicated the English the throne, and Queen Elizabeth's father had to be king. And because his brother was getting married to a divorcee, Wallis Simpson, And at that time, that was the biggest scandal, and the Queen Mother, she made sure to provide the entertainment, right? It was a massive feud, and she did not approve of Wallis Simpson, and she carried on and on this masquerade, right? This show, only for us to find out decades later the man is gay, and so is Wallis Simpson. It was all a show. Just like what is happening with China and America and tariffs, is all a show. At the end of the day, America has to collapse. America has to hand over power. Britain as well, Europe as well, Australia as well. All of these Western powers has to go under. And the sooner you people understand that, right? The sooner you understand the game and understand the plan and start to secure your house, that is the day that you will finally wake up to the reality of the life we live in and realize not everything is conspiracy theories. It's time you people wake up. Wake up, right? See, China spilling the beans, something that many of us knew. It's not news to me, right? Everything is made in China for a reason. I don't know what it's going to take for you people to wake up. But the world is a stage and everybody is playing their part. We need to pray and say, glory be to the Most High.